everyone, this is Tanya, the Lady Strange. Blessed solstice and Yule, if you're watching this in Yule, on Yule or right thereafter of 2024. If you're not, this is just going to be a general reading I've been guided to provide to the collective whom this may resonate with. Again, just a general reading, but this is going to be something I've been guided to intuitively do. This is to show energies that for whomever this may apply to fully or only partially even resonate with. This is going to be a message of what it needs to be released. Acknowledge and release and start even letting go as we move into 2025. So if you're watching this at 2024 or even possibly the first month or two of 2025, I'm sure this still may have a message and relevance for you, or at least I hope it may, as do many of my messages do, as do others do for me. So this is my fifth take. So yeah, I just chose not to show my face tonight. That's just the way it is, just trying a new angle and perspective in my room. And if you hear the space heater or such, this room's very cold and poorly insulated, but I work the best what I have. Plus, this is the room I generally film in anyways, my altar witchy room. But enough being said, I hope if you do celebrate the solstice, like I do celebrate it now in a more, not always. I don't really follow the wheel year. And a lot of my practice is by what I intuitively feel driven with and what I work and walk with in a relationship. And as I hope most of us are, or as we are as humans, our experiences, our practices, our path working, and just our lives are constantly changing, as is our circumstances. So as we grow, learn, and see what works, and shed, and rebuild, and burn down, like the tower, so it isn't a practice. So this year is a little different for me. I did celebrate mine this morning. So if you did celebrate, and I did post a picture of my altar and a picture from my releasing spell as one of my rituals I did this morning on my community tab or on my Instagram Little Miss Girl. So with that being said, I already shuffled the Seasons of the Witch Yule deck. So with that being said, I already have one card pulled. Now, because of the lighting in this room is not the greatest, even when I go to get my eyes looked at, hopefully in the near future, my eyesight, that's still not going to help 100% with the lighting in this room. But again, you make do what you do. And again, this is one of my favorite rooms in the house. Of course, it's got a lot of my magic, ritual, and my altars in. So the first card that I pulled, and I'm pulling oracles first, then I'll tie in tarot and just see how this message actually comes out for what needs to be released and what baggage or needs to be acknowledged or what we don't want to carry in and tie loose ends up from 2024 to bring into 2025 to open up to new opportunities, roads, paths towards further growth, health, enlightenment, empowerment, courage, and strength into what we've been working for as if you're a practitioner like myself or in spirituality you're in, or just as being a good human being and the best version of yourself for yourself and for that which matters it is. So the first card here I'm going to read is Wreath. So that is going to be there in the circle of life tends to breathe death. One is not without the other, eternally bound by the essence of spirit. So how appropriate this is as we are at the Yule solstice, the beginning of the winter here, depending on what part of the world you live. I'm in the northern hemisphere in central New York State, so yes, quite cold. We're like in the low digits here, so yes. And there's been snow now. The weather's been very erratic this year, but I would rather, as much as I do not like the cold, I prefer over deep snow. So yes, so I'll take that. But this wreath means several things. It means things coming to full circle, coming to completion. This is kind of a combo or a message that is saying here, then come to full circle, kind of like the World card of the major arcana. It's indicating here that with everything is cyclical, as it is, as life is, like also the Wheel of Fortune, if we can indicate that here too. You cannot have life without death. You cannot have death without life. Everything dies at some point or another and has its own cycles of uh, birth, life, death, and rebirth, as does the earth does, as does the universe, as do our lives means. Those that we are born, we live our lives, and we experience life and relationships, but also death. And death of those around us and of relationships, careers, or different levels of things, and even different versions of ourselves and our experience. So this is indicating on here, it is part of the spirit to honor those cycles and to honor those changes this year. The new things that have been created, the things that have already from the past creation that have run their course and have come to death, and to be looking forward to what is possible in 2025 for a new cycle of creation and letting go of what no longer serves. So that's the first for the oracle, and that's the wreath. Second that come up is going to be turning inward. Okay, the message of this one is inside this veil of bones and flesh, I lay my soul to sleep. All the truth will thy breath, thy breath have come to greet me. Wow, it looks like a definite thing of the liminal and death. First card being the wreath, cycles of life and death. This one is turning inward. This is appropriate for this season too. It's a very liminal time, the solstice is. And this one feels more than many years, and obviously the majority of my life, I honestly don't feel connected to this. And I do sometimes practice on a minor level and, of course, acknowledgement. This year it feels different. Of course, I've been through a lot of tower moments, a lot of death and rebirth, but a lot of opportunities of creation. But this is indicating to turn inward. That means to acknowledge in a healthy, empowered way, to take that time to rest, reflect, meditate. No matter what your practice looks like, meditation isn't always sitting down to meditate. It can be sitting down and reading a book, taking a long hot bath or shower, going for a walk or a jog if you're into that type of thing, reading cards, and just drinking your morning coffee or having that glass of wine after work. So it's trying to turn inward, to reflect on yourself and what you truly want to bring in the 2025 and what you want 2025 to also bring in turn to you. That means the universe and what you want to create and manifest and bring to fruition for yourself and your relationship and what truly matters. And to find the answers that you know are within those cycles, and to learn to cope, heal in a more healthy and empowered way. So that's the message from that. To acknowledge the ending and the death of the year, and that things are changing and are going into a new cycle. Whether it's going to be good or bad in 2025, well, that will be left to said, but that's how life is. And let's see, for card number 3, we have perseverance. That is a great message. It's a tie-in to bring into what we need to release and bring into 2025. That is perseverance. And that it reads as, stay in the power, dear child, for thy lonely is never alone. When the world is dreadful, upon thy turn to thy spirits within thyself, and within thy life, and I'm going to add into thy life, and that can also apply to spirit, not just spiritual nature or religious nature, but also those spirits, mean people in your life and your ancestors, the seen and unseen. What a beautiful message for the oracle to tie in to the cycles of life and death and what is going to need to be released and acknowledged and has run its course, to that, but also what is still already set into creation, to which we're still working on to bring into 2025. That perseverance of truth, will, determination, one's experience, gnosis, relationships, support, to be the best version of themselves. Each day is different. I constantly struggle, honestly, quite a lot this year, and especially in the past 2 months. Well, just overall, but this past 2 months has been rough. But you know what? I'm still here and I'm moving forward. As if you're watching this, so haven't you in your various trials and tribulations and adversities. Life is full of adversity, but there is always lessons and takeaways and things that we can use to empower and different nuggets to lead us to what we want to. So the perseverance and strength is what we want to bring into and use to carry us into the transition of 2025. And the good things of this year that we have used to persevere are in our toolkit to bring into 2025. So let's see what the tarot has. Let me get that and shuffle the dark wood. Let me just set my book light aside. I needed that as an aid. Okay. All right, dark wood and my guides. What can be tied in with this message from the Oracle of what this collective needs to know to release and to work through and bring into 2025 to create and attract and manifest new opportunities, to experience new growth, receptivity, new perspective, healing, wisdom, and creation, to wrap up those situations and circumstances and lessons of 2024 and work through what needs to be brought into 2025 or carried over in a healthy, empowered way. What is to clarify that message of the wreath of cycles of life and death and creation and endings of what no longer serves, but to turn inward in a healthy, reflective way on our part in our life and the part that others play in our life, but turning inward for the answers, the truth, the silence, and stillness, but using that perseverance that we have had for 2024. And God is up previous to 2024, and the perseverance we still want to carry into 2025. So what do you have to say, guides? And overall, what is the message of the tarot to connect with this? Oh, and I think I have my deck upside down. I read with this one often, so for myself, so it could be. This is one of my favorite decks. Okay, Nine of Swords. One of my frenemies. Okay. And let's get another. Now, this is another big friend of mine, especially in the past pretty much 2 months. This is one of my birth cards, Justice. My other birth card is the High Priestess. Quite interesting. I was born on January 11th, so 111. So quite interesting magic numbers for myself. Probably why I'm a highly intuitive channeler. Okay. And lastly for the tarot, we got Queen of Wands. Okay. So let's see what the message is here in conjunction with the message of the Oracle of what needs to be released and also to be acknowledged and to healthily bring into the from 2024 to 2025. Sorry about that. So this is going to be the Nine of Swords. What we need to release. What we need to turn inward to find a better health with, meaning a mental health, emotional health, and circumstance of how we approach and perceive challenges in life with that wreath is anxiety, overthinking, and nightmares. So this is, we need to release anxiety. We need to work through anxiety. Now, not obliterate it and not ignore it or basically avoid it, but to have a healthier relationship is. Acknowledge it's there. Acknowledge the root cause. Um, I believe we, as a collective who this applied to, has already done a lot of this in 2024. Been a lot of anxiety and overwhelm for myself and many others that I know in my life and different levels and the things I have observed and experienced. But it's great to, to observe that, but not to dwell in the anxiety. As it comes up, face it with courage and strength and compassion for yourself or the anxieties that others may have around you. Be a great support for them. Energy of each other and ourselves is reflective. However, our anxiety can create circumstances for us that manifest into our regular world and materialize in a very negative way. I can honestly take accountability for a lot of my circumstances that have happened this year because of my anxiety, my overwhelm, and overthinking. So be mindful of the anxiety and what you can release for it and healthily move into to acknowledge into 2025. Now, justice. Letting go, like the turning inward and the wreath of life and death, and letting another year pass by, no matter what your age, your gender, or how you identify, your path working, whether you're, no matter what your life is and what it has been. And like I said, your age, your circumstances, your relationship, no matter what it is, your ethnicity, any of that, whoever may be watching this. Justice. Be fair. Look at everything with a fair and objective lens of what you have experienced this year and even previous years and throughout your life. Be fair, be just, but also be fair and just with others. No one's living your experience but yourself, and you're not living others' experiences either. It is advised that in order to go into 2025 and make it a healthy, empowered way, look at things with that fair lens and also apply justice to your circumstances and to what you have created. Be fair and just. Also, find the equilibrium and reflect on and work on creating what finds balance versus amidst any chaos or challenges or even lack or feelings of lack or true lack of what you may have not had, but also bring justice into what you do have and all the great accomplishments, big and small, of 2024 to carry you into 2025. And lastly, for this message, it's going to be Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is symbolizing whom this applies to. Queen of Wands, it's generally a woman, but it can be a man with these type of qualities too, of course. Equal opportunity here. Well, for the most part, I'm a human. But Queen of Wands energy means empowered person. One who knows their experience, their magic, their will, what they want to create, what they set forth. So what you've already created and what you've already worked through, use that and be proud. Pride is not a negative thing, as I've said and I've been working through. Pride can be a very empowering and healthy and uplifting thing. To be proud of your accomplishments, that you're still standing, and that you've been there for yourself and for those that matter in the best way you could and know how, and to learn those lessons. That's what the Queen of Wands did. The Queen of Wands also knows the luxury of reaping the benefits of her labor or of their labor, their hard work, their efforts, and just their motivations. So use that, what you created this year, and set forth, bring that into 2025. So use those accomplishments and have pride in yourself and pride in your relationships. It's the best thing you can do for yourself, to be the best version of yourself, and therefore what you need to accomplish. So this is going to be a message of, again, as I said, turning inwards. Having that perseverance and stamina like the Queen of Wands does have and has had in the past, of acknowledging the cycles and how you have approached them in 2024, and how you want to actually let go, or what you want to keep to work through into a healthier start of 2025, and to bring justice and fair, and be fair with yourself. I'm really fucking hard on myself, and I'm sure most of you are, especially for the collective that got that Nine of Swords. We're extremely hard on ourselves and have high expectations for ourselves, and a lot of things that we're working through from the past that's going to take our whole life and our whole shadow to work through. But that does not mean that we're bad people or anything like that. It's just saying that acknowledge what you can release, or those things that are not your burdens to carry on, and move in and be receptive to new opportunities, and just let what is be, and take those lessons and takeaways and take in a great perspective. And I wish you all a good rest of 2024, no matter what holidays you do, practice or experience, and a good happy new year 2025. And look for my reading tomorrow, my weekly collective reading. And again, if you get any value out of these or my past videos, please like and comment and subscribe to my channel. And let me know what you think, how this may resonate for you, how your year's been, anything that you would like to share, as it does is greatly appreciated. And with that being said, stay strange.